It's widely believed that criminals are winning in the war against crime. The FBI says robbery is up 11% in the first 6 months of the year and estimates that there are arrests in fewer than 1/4 of those robberies. President Reagan has recommended a crackdown on career criminals, trying to combat those rising statistics. As Jane Wallace reports, New York City already is trying to do just that.
If you want to go through mugshots, that's your prerogative.
Larry Brodsky has just been robbed. It's a crime that happens every 58 seconds in this country, and it's just happened to him.
One gentleman came over, pulled out a gun. Another one went over here and just said, "You know what we're here for. Just be cool." You know, at that time, being cool and shaking like a leaf at the same time.
In the last 20 years in this country, you've seen an explosion, literally an explosion of street crime. Certainly in the last 5 years, the system is not able to cope with the numbers of cases you have.
Now New York City is trying to cope in a new way. Police estimate 1/3 of the robberies every year are committed by a small, hardcore group of career criminals. That's why the New York City police have decided to zero in on career criminals like Ulysses Green, who at 26 has already been arrested 32 times, 8 of those for robbery and violent sex crimes, or Thomas Frank, 22, 15 arrests, 10 of those for robbery. Or this man, we'll call him Max, 22, 11 arrests, who by his own admission has probably robbed some 600 people since the age of 16.
I mean, any pocketbook could be got if you put your mind to it. You know? So this was a thing where I see it. If I think I can get it, I'll try.
You made a career out of stealing, right?
No, I didn't make no career out of it. It just happened like that.
I go to work as a cop 5 days a week. You go to work as a news reporter 5 days a week. He goes to work. He's out on the street 5 days a week, or maybe even longer, committing crime. That's his career.
John Jussin watches career criminals for a living. New York is the only city in the country that actually places career criminals under surveillance, just waiting for them to commit another crime. The city has even compiled a computerized list of the 6,000 most wanted career criminals. One of the problems is prison's a place many criminals never see, especially in New York. By the police department's own figures, out of every 100 people arrested for felonies here, more than 90 never spent a day in prison.
The reason that we arrested him is the identifications that were made.
To change that, this special unit of New York's finest does nothing but build cases against the people they consider to be New York's worst.
We have an associate. This is single arrest.
Single.
First charge.
Now, each time someone is arrested in New York, the suspect is screened to see if he's one of the big apples, bad apples. If so, the Career Criminals Unit goes into action, trying to make sure the case doesn't slip through the cracks of the criminal justice system. The Civil Liberties Union doesn't like it.
When we move away from targeting crimes to targeting individuals or bad apples, as it were, then I think we're in a dangerous situation. It sort of stands the presumption of innocence on its head.
Somebody suggests to me, as the police commissioner, that I cannot send police officers out to somebody to watch somebody who has just committed 15 muggings this year, and I have to wait for him to commit the 16th. I don't believe that's in the area of civil liberties. I think that that would be stupidity on my part.
This week, New York City is expanding its campaign to put career criminals away because police decided after a pilot program that it works. Example, like many of the targets, Ulysses Green is now serving his first felony conviction. He got 12.5 to 25 years. Thomas Frank was convicted as a violent, persistent felon. He got 20 to life. And the program took Max off the street for at least 2 years. He still doesn't call himself a career criminal, but his last victim is certainly glad the New York Police Department did.
You get to a point where you no longer care so much if their rights are being protected, because you're much more concerned with the rights of everyone else you know who's working for a living and who's trying to hang on to what little you've accumulated. You know, your sympathies are not with the guy who mugged you.
Jane Wallace, CBS News, New York.